It is a rough time in the games industry. There has never been a time where AA and indie games developers, as well as indie content creators, who the public find more reliable than the journalist class, can find this much success without needing a major corporation or government funding them. This is a great time for everyone in gaming to carve out their piece of the industry. Everyone except the AAA corporations and legacy games media. When you give the people power, when content creators control the means of production, the authoritarians which run games media can no longer rely on bullying and misinformation to keep a captive audience beleaguered and confused. There has never been a better time to be in the games industry. It is one thing for us to point and laugh at those who fail because they took advantage of the kindness of gamers for too long and are reaping the reward now of their destructive reign. But negative behaviors and sentiment from the activists and journalists need to be replaced with a positive alternative. We need to support and be grateful for the indie and AA studios who make the sorts of games we want to play, who defy the industry woke ideology to make something they have a passion for that resonates with gamers. We similarly require alternative thought. The content creators who work to expose and talk about the deceptive industry practices, who give genuine, authentic feedback, even if you disagree with them, or perhaps more so, if you do not always agree. It is better to follow people who do not try to pander to your beliefs, who give you something to think about. We have long thrived as a gaming industry full of people who think differently. I believe it was a better place when we argued about Final Fantasy VII versus Final Fantasy VI, or for those who know Link to the Past, is far superior to the overhyped Ocarina of Time to consistently dunk on the clunky N64 with its palm-splitting controller. The ability to disagree with someone and stay friends is something that the woke have tried to destroy in the industry. When you call a terrible game now out like it is, like Veilguard, it is not enough for them to disagree. They will call you the long list of evil things we've all heard so many times they use to unperson and other you so they can feel good about being hateful over game preferences. Gaming needs to return to levity and joy, and this is how we heal from the toxicity that the woke activists injected into the entertainment industry. That is the real legacy of the legacy games media and AAA gaming. All the awful woke games, they will be forgotten, but the destruction of our ability to have conversations without resorting to calling everyone a racist or a sexist, that is what they created. And that is what we will know them for, and that is when we will know we are back. When people can get heated over polar opposite takes on a game and still be pals the next day. Just like how it always was. If you have a bit of authenticity, you can build and retain an audience without the assistance of the corporate machine, without the controllers of the capitalistic power hovering over you. And one such evil corporation, a misinformation site known as Kotaku, is falling apart. However, as much as everyone wants to gloat and poke fun at them, to throw it in their faces that this karma is deserved after years of deception, taking bribery in the form of access journalism, threatening and slandering reputable game studios, going after the personal lives of independent, innocent developers and content creators, I want to offer instead the Kotaku journalists the incredible chance that all others in the gaming industry have. Do not despair, my Kotaku friends. There has never been a better time for you to be emancipated from the clutch of the capitalist machine. You have the opportunity to use the trust and reputation you have rightfully earned to go solo and appeal to the gaming masses on the same level as them, to become part of a community. Use those ethics, that integrity, to inspire the people who want your reliable and honest coverage of the gaming industry. If you have the talent and have built up your followers over the years you worked under the corporate thumb, you have an advantage, a huge advantage, to break into the content creation limelight as a star. That is, of course, if you haven't spent years destroying everyone's opinions of you and creating an audience of enemies. But surely you'll do fine. After all, it's only a handful of angry chuds that disagree with you, right? Unless you have managed to piss off everyone so much that you are now without an ally, as you know everyone in your little echo chamber is just like you, gleeful to toss your so-called friends aside for a second of clout and a chance to virtue signal for that precious social credit score you value over anything else. But surely that is not you. It would be wild to spend that much time in your position of power and manage to cultivate only the borrowed legitimacy of the corporate masters you now realize you are nothing without. A capitalist pig that gorges on the trough set out for you by the overpaid executives you constantly pretend to bite the hand that feeds, raging in defense of the machine. So I hope that everything you have built by your own merit in the years of relevance you are handed on a silver platter is something you capitalize on, because I want you to do well. And after hearing you talk about the massive modern audience for a decade and how badly they want the gaming industry to change in your image, I cannot wait for your successful debut into the indie content creation stream, and to see the entire modern audience show up to support you in these difficult times. And when you find the success you cultivated in your years of building an audience in the gaming industry, remember to take pride in what you have created for yourself. Because remember, you earned this. Nobody else did. You have created what you have now. And when the safety net of corporations and government is stripped away, everyone will see you for who you are, and the foundations you have built will support the future you deserve.